Welcome to Real Community Talks, a video and audio podcast dedicated to making real conversations with community influencers available to everyone. I'm your host, Matt DeSilva, and I meet with some of the dopest community influencers across the greater Toronto area who, maybe by the world standards, might be micro-level influencers, but I know are doing macro-level things. Stay tuned each Tuesday night as we dive into each guest's life, talk process, and get to hear their unique story which molded them into the person they are today. The stories you hear are not necessarily formulas for success, but examples of individuals who are making their dreams possible despite obstacles. I firmly believe that everyone has a unique story that could potentially change someone's entire perspective on their circumstance. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back to Real Community Talks, where real conversations with community influencers are made available to everyone. I'm your host, Matt DeSilva, and on today's episode, we have my boy, Savy Jay, a.k.a. my boy AJ on the show.
What's up?
AJ, thank you for being on the show today,
What's up, everybody? I'm good.
How you doing, sir?
I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Got a full belly. Let's go.
Yo, if you don't already know, before we do this interview, I don't want to just go cold. We go grab some food. So,
yes, sir. You know,
man is full.
Gotta freshen up. You know, gotta look nice.
So before we get into it, you met the man himself, Toronto guy Cody, no?
Yes, sir. It was kind of crazy how that happened. I was just trying to go to Toronto just to have fun, you know, maybe go over to the Wonderland a bit. And went to Wonderland with the family, and it's just like came out the car and all here's Jay Flight. I'm like, oh shit, I know where that voice is. And I turn around, I see him. This guy has that infamous smile about him. I'm like, wow. Turn around, took a picture with him. He says that, you know, he likes my stuff. He appreciates it. So that was like, wow. Like, I had a smile on my face for the rest of the day.
Got that look, yeah, for sure.
I was like, wow. And then I grabbed a picture with him too. So it was fun.
So how necessary of a platform is that for the city? Like, is he accurate in terms of his Toronto man's impressions?
Yes. Toronto guy Cody is he's slowly developing his footnote for the kids of Toronto. I feel like he has came a long way. I was with him when he was simply sitting at 6,000 followers. I was with him, you know, I watched him grow, you know, so it's great to see where he's at, and it's great to see where he's come in such a short amount of time, you know, and see the amount of love he's getting from the city. And I just hope he grows, man. You know, that's my boy, that's my bro. You know, I just wish him success for him, for sure.
Reason I brought that up is because, like, checking out you know, being an influencer on IG, like, I see those vibes going on with you. Like, it's only a matter of time, right?
I mean, like, not only is he my friend, but he's also a motivator in himself, because, you know, like, he's come from nothing. I've seen him grow. I've seen the little Mad Lib skits to now his own skits. You know, he's just growing in so many different ways, and you know, it's great to see somebody do that. You know, especially for the city that's showing him love. You know, it's just nothing but positivity on my end, for sure.
All right, so back to the man of the hour right now. So for those two ways people who don't know who this guy is. Jay is an independent artist. So he's a singer, rapper, songwriter, music producer with multiple content out right now on SoundCloud, with a new album actually coming out soon. We'll get into that a little later. He's a YouTube creator. He's the founder of Savy Team.
Yes, sir.
Among many other things. You ready? He's an entrepreneur. He's an influencer on IG. He's a vlogger. He's volunteered in the military, a pilot in training.
Yes, sir.
And he's just an all-around multifaceted content creator.
You're making me sound like I'm an old man, yo. I sound like,
it's all accomplishments.
Like I'm an old dude, yo. Yeah, I'm just trying to advance in different ways, man. You got to create different opportunities. The Lord,
100%,
the Lord has blessed me with talent.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Once you get talent, you can't just let it go to waste, because, you know, I'm not trying to be 30 trying to do something that I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to pop off the way it should. But man, once you have that mindset, and you know that, like, you know, through Christ you can do anything, you're gravy.
Capitalizing on it early, right?
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of people wait till like they're at a certain height of their career.
Sometimes they don't even do it on purpose. You know, sometimes they just discover it later on.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, unfortunately to say, you know, it just doesn't always pop off like how they want it to. But I'm grateful that I've noticed my talent early on, so I'm able to capitalize off it, for sure.
All right, so with that, for those people that don't know you, maybe, or even some of the people who know of you but they don't really know you, why don't we talk about your origin story? So who is AJ and where are you from?
AJ was originally from Jamaica. I'm from down south. Born in St. Andrew. Grew up in Kingston. You know, I spent most of my childhood there. came to Canada, you know, when I was about 9 or 10, you know, just to start over, get a fresh new life. No, start a new life, start a new leaf. And basically, man, I took it one day at a time, you know, started from, you know, being a drummer in my old church, you know, to, you know, helping out, you know, in different studios or whatever, to, you know, doing YouTube, and then now I'm doing music, you know, full time. And, you know, it's just a growing thing for me. You know, every day you grow, every day you take one new direction into the future that you want to become. I mean, you want to get to. So it's just fun, man. It's
100%. And for those people wondering what like that miter saw sound is, you guys already know the new studio is popping off soon. So
yeah,
we got to get some more stuff done.
No worries.
But one thing I you know, I found interesting is a lot of, especially me and you know a lot of people from Malton. A lot of people are coming from Jamaica. They come here. Do you feel like what age did you leave Jamaica?
I probably left around 9 or 10.
So do you feel like you lost that culture, or do you feel like you still stay true to your roots?
No, I'm always true to my roots. You know what I'm saying? There's not one day that doesn't go by. I mean, like, for all my West Indian people that are watching, or my southern people that are watching, you know, oxtail and gravy.
There you go.
That's never
Caribbean
leaving.
Star, Mr. Jerk.
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Probably say Mr. Jerk for sure.
All right.
That's always been the go-to, the vintage. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I can never lose touch with my roots. You know what I'm saying? In my household, you know, I have a loving and supportive mother, but you know, you always have to stay in touch with your roots, no matter where you go. You know, but with me, I think the disconnect that I have with other people is the fact that, like, I adapt. So as you can tell, I don't carry a Jamaican accent just because I've been here for so long. I've adapted in so many different ways, you know, just to fit in. So it's like people be like, "Oh, you're not Jamaica. You're not from Jamaica. You're not Jamaican." I'm like, "Nah, man, I can show you the birth certificate." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just that in of itself that's a problem. But besides that, man, it's whatever.
I always believe that part of our origin story in our life is sometimes stuff that went wrong, and I know that. You got a story where you, over some chicken nuggets, you almost burned the house down. Let's talk about that.
That was quite interesting. For those who don't know, that's on my YouTube channel. But basically what happened was, it was just a regular summer day. You know, I'm trying to go chill with the friends. But, you know, before I head out, I got to have my daily dosage of chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who knows me knows that chicken nuggets is my daily fix. You know what I'm saying? So I put some chicken nuggets in the oven, and man, you know, I got a call from my friend saying that, yo, he's outside, let's go right now. So I packed up everything, got myself ready, and we headed out, not knowing that I still had chicken nuggets in the oven. So came home, and like, I smelled something burning. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went straight to the kitchen, and lo and behold, my chicken nuggets are just sitting there, burnt to a crisp. You know, thank the Lord that the house didn't burn down. You know, I told as soon as I dropped the video, my mom saw it a couple of days later. She's like, I got her so much trouble.
So you didn't tell her? That's how she found out?
I didn't tell her because like, she subscribed to my YouTube channel. So like, you know, once she saw the video, she called me. She's like, "Hey Jay," I'm like, "Oh, here we go." So, you know, I took the cussing, and you know, it's just something to learn from. It's just an experience I could probably tell my kids in the future.
There you go. I feel like sometimes you don't learn the biggest lessons until you fail or you've done something stupid, right?
Most def. I feel like growth comes with every fall, you know what I'm saying? Because like, once you take a fall and like you on the ground and you know what you did wrong, it just makes it so much easier.
There you go. So in terms of more your music, what don't people really understand about all the work it takes to produce, to write, or record a track, like all the behind the scenes stuff?
I mean, we have to start off with writing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, with artists, especially for us, you have to understand we have to appeal to so many people. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about whether it's the music or the money or the drugs, or maybe it's just the conscious stuff we want to talk about. You know, maybe we want to talk about something dear to the heart. So we have to think about all of that when we're writing music. And then to make matters worse, you know, you got to do production as well. So with me, I do all my producing, all my editing myself. So that in itself is just a learning curve. Also, it's fun because at the same time, I love being around tech and whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, you just have to learn different things. You learn how to do, you know, certain editing this way or certain that this way. So it's just fun, man. It's just fun. There are times where you do write a song and you think it's good and then it's not good. Or there's times you make a good song and then people don't show as much love to it as you think they should. But that just comes with music, man. You just got to make sure you make a hit that everybody loves. And then I think I'm on the way there. I just got to be patient. That's all.
So like one of the more popular influencers out right now is Gary V. And, you know, in terms of motivation and going viral on IG. One of the things he kind of counsels, like I think he counseled like a Boogie, a bunch of like, you know, popping off younger artists. And he said, why aren't you making us like a ones like 2 to 3 songs every week? And they're like, yo, we can't push out that. Like, we're trying to just do whatever, right?
No.
And he's like, a lot of times people are waiting for that one song that's gonna pop off, but you need to be constantly in creation. So do you feel like is there stuff that you kind of you hold off, but you're not necessarily publishing, or like, are you always creating? How's it for you?
With me, it's a bit of both actually. I could pull up my phone right now. I probably got like close to 100 songs that I haven't even recorded yet, you know, with the exception of maybe 10 or so that I've recorded. And those are not even songs that are going to be at the album. I'm talking like before album, post album. Like, I have songs dedicated to the album itself, but you know, the songs that I'm talking about right now, these are like before and after. So, you know, I get what you're saying. I do make songs, you know, it takes roughly a week and change for me to make just one song.
Okay.
And that when I say that, it's just because like every day you have you experience different things. You have different emotions. So, you know, you take all those different emotions and you turn them into words, and then you add a melody to it and you put it on a beat. So, you know, it's just it's fun creating, but at the same time there's a process to it. And I feel like once you understand that, it's gravy.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So, what is a constant theme that you're trying to communicate through your message? Obviously, you have different songs, you talk about different things, but if there's something like a powerful message that you're trying to communicate, what is that?
Do your thing. And make sure that, you know, you keep your mental health at where it should be. You know, as somebody who has suffered from depression and has suffered from anxiety and, you know, knows what mental illness really is.
Yeah.
That's what I try to preach about a lot. I made a song, Runaway Love, you know what I'm saying, with my friend Sophie. And I spoke about some real stuff on there. I spoke about some stuff that, you know, I had some people crying, come and tell me that, yo, there's tears because I spoke about some real stuff on there. And I feel like, you know, once you have your mental state correct and, you know, your mind is in a good place, I feel like you can go far.
Definitely.
But most def, just try to be yourself. I try to, every time I speak or every time I make a song, you always hear, you know, just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're okay. Make sure, you know, you're trying to just live the best life you possibly can. You're only on this earth one time.
Yeah,
understand that. You're only on here. You're only here for a certain amount of years that you got to capitalize off of.
Facts.
So that when you step in front of the Lord, he knows where to put you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just where my head's at with it. Every day is a new adventure. Every day, you know, I try to better myself, not only from my own personal gain, but to the eyes of the Lord as well.
Definitely. Something you said that I kind of resonate with is you said, you know, just be yourself. And with all these Toronto rappers who have the same music video where a bunch of their boys are sitting on in the back of a Honda, you know, throwing up gun signs, how do you stay unique out here?
Me is just like, you got to come up with new ideas, you know. As somebody who did YouTube, you know, you look at different ways how to shoot different things and, you know, how to basically, you know, create a scene out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So with me, I have music videos coming. I know I haven't put out music videos yet, but I have music videos coming, you know. Come September, come October, like I'm gonna start pushing, you know, music videos out. But you know, for now, I'm just trying to think about different things, and you know, that's how I set myself away. Because as you can see, like most Toronto rappers, not to put no dirt on nobody, but like they all do the same thing, like you said. You know, they're always with their boys. You know, they're always smoking. They're always just doing something. With me, I'm gonna have a storyline. So one video I'm planning, you know, you're gonna see me get shot. You know, I'm gonna talk about my life. Like you're gonna see me like get beat up. Like you're gonna see me like go through some heartbreak. You're gonna see some with me, and I'm gonna be with a girl. She's gonna break my heart. Like it's just so many different things I'm gonna talk about in my music video. So I'm trying to tell a story in every music video that I make, and I feel like once I have that, everything's great.
There you go. So you look at artists like Bryson Tiller, Post Malone, Kalani, and more, and you know all of them went big, but they started on SoundCloud. Yeah. So how important of a platform has it been for your music?
SoundCloud has pushed it to a whole nother level. I feel like they've done a great job in terms of marketing and promotion, and I feel like their algorithm that they use, I feel like that's very effective because it's done wonders for me. I remember my first song I ever dropped did 50 plays in like a month, and then once they, you know, did that update, you know, that went from 50 to 200. Wow. I know it's still climbing. So
there you go.
You know, it's just, I'm grateful for SoundCloud because that's where you start off at, and obviously I'm going to expand to different places. Like I'm trying to have my new album coming. It's going to be on every Apple Music, Spotify. It's going to be everywhere. But you know, I'm just trying to get myself where I need to be, basically. Yeah. And that's just what it is. It takes time. It takes effort. It's a process for sure.
See, for me, I want to go on SoundCloud because a lot of people host their podcasts on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, yo, I already got a website, and I'm like, I don't want to pay a subscription. So I'm like, I'm looking at it because I'm like, you only get a certain amount of free minutes, right? Or hours, right? I'm like, my podcasts are like 50 plus minutes. So I'm like,
you're running
you know
out
what?
of space.
Maybe in the future when I get sponsored, shout out sponsors, reach out to me, Patreon or whatever, then we could do that. But no, I think I definitely want to reach out to that platform because it's a different way for people to connect to your music. And speaking of different ways, like, do you feel like you're ever gonna put your stuff on Spotify or other platforms? Or?
Yeah. For now, because I've reached out and I've actually talked to like most of my like core fans or whatever. And they said that the easiest way for them is through SoundCloud because they didn't gotta pay no money, they gotta pay nothing.
True.
So it's just basically easier for them to listen to what I gotta say. So I've just been appealing to them, but I feel like to reach a wider audience because I'm thinking the big picture here, right? I'm thinking that maybe it's time for me to branch off. You know what I'm saying? So Spotify, Apple Music, I'm not gonna be like all my singles and all my little collabs here and there. Some of them might be on Spotify, some of them might not. I'm just trying to like find out which one's best for me.
Yeah.
But when my album comes, it's gonna be everywhere. You're gonna find it like anywhere you can think of.
We'll
like,
drop
Tidal,
it in the description. Yeah.
Tidal, anywhere you'll find it for sure.
For sure. So who were a few artists that you can name who've had a big influence on either your music or you as an artist?
I want to say A Boogie and Meek Mill. Just because of what they've been through in life. I watched this Netflix series called Rapture. You know about that? They just spoke about their life, and I feel like I could relate to some of it. They've really, they're really spoken to me. You know what I'm saying, through their music, and I feel like I want to say they influenced my style, but at the same time, they've created the artist in me. They brought out that music in me. You know what I'm saying, to speak about the real stuff. To speak about what's going on my head or what's going on in my heart. So I get a lot of that from how they do their thing, and that's just what it is for me. I feel like those are my two biggest influences for sure.
Yeah. So something most people don't know about you is you actually like country music, no? Did I expose you?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, man. Ever since I was in the military, as you can see, like, as a minority in the military, you're exposed to a lot of different people. You're exposed to a different branch of people. You learn a lot of different things, and they just happen to be playing country music quite often there. Slowly but surely I became a fan of country music. So you wouldn't be surprised if you have some country music on my playlist, but that's just what it is.
True. So I see you popping on IG, always supporting other influencers. You've definitely supported this show extensively. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to become more relevant on that platform?
It depends on what you're trying to do. If it's something where you want to follow in the role of me, where you want to be an influencer, you want to do music or whatever, I suggest you start off slowly with producers. Make sure you get in touch with a lot of producers, whether in the city, maybe just in Canada, maybe some in America, maybe some in the UK supporters I've found that really do support us. Us being Canadian rappers, I feel like once you get in touch with them, then you start branching off to, videographers, photographers, and then, we start touching radio shows like you, and then, you just branch off, and then once you do that, then your fans start slowly coming in. Yeah. But with me, I took a different route. I mean, like, if you want to start there, that's fine. But with me, I started with YouTube. Most of my fame came from YouTube alone. Yeah. And once I realized that, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to capitalize off that. And then I used that. Went from, before I started YouTube, I was sitting at a solid 2,000 followers. After I was done YouTube, I sat at 6,000, going on 7. Wow. I'm doing music now. I'm almost touching 10K. 9K. Wow, jeez. So, it's people think success comes overnight. I didn't get 10K overnight. I didn't get 6K overnight. I had Instagram a couple months after it came out. When the updates weren't even what they were now. Remember the big Instagram icon on the iPhone 3.
Jeez, it was rough.
It was those days that I started on. So, and
like those cringe filters people used to put, like the rise or whatever out. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, that's not photography.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I started from there. You just gotta have patience. You know what I'm saying? Patience is the key to everything for sure.
And like you said, when you went on YouTube, it even elevated your platform. So don't just think inwardly on the platform, but think multi-platform.
You have to always keep a broad spectrum on everything. once you have to take a step back and realize the bigger picture. That's what people are failing to do. Take a look at the bigger picture. Where can you possibly go in life? You know what I'm saying? Where do you want to take this? How are you trying to get to the next level? Which route do you want to take?
Yeah.
And I just happened to figure that out early.
Definitely. So I'm a bit of an older head. I stopped using Snapchat. I feel like you look at Kylie Jenner, like when she left, like Snapchat's stock dropped significantly. Do you think, like, I look at IG, and I'm not saying that it has like better filters than Snapchat. Look, you got live videos, you got IGTV, you got posts, you got stories. Why are people still on Snap?
You're more direct with your friends. I feel like Instagram basically, it's slowly but surely turning into just like a promotion platform, really, because you go on Instagram now. If you're not really following your friends, all you're seeing is just not promotions, you know. So with me, I think Snapchat's better because you're able to step into your friends' everyday life. You know, with Snapchat stories, you can literally see their life hour for hour, minute for minute, what they're doing in every single second. So I feel like that's just a way to be more personal with your friends or with your fans or whatever the case may be, for sure.
One thing I need you to get, like I need to get straight, and I need you to explain this is, what's the point of streaks? Like, I understand Instagram, like you get a blue check mark if you have an amount of followers. That's kind of like an incentive. Like, I'd understand if streaks, like maybe you get more like algorithm pushes or whatever. What's the point of streaks? Like, religiously people follow. Like my brother, he's like, yo, I'm actually taking like a social media break for a month, but my boy's keeping my streaks for me. I'm like, oh, okay. So like, what do you get for streaks? He's like, nothing. And I'm like, why are you what?
Okay, listen, and I know where you're coming from with this because I have a solid 30-something streaks, okay? Jeez. The highest one being 344 days or something.
Wow.
So I feel like with that, you slowly build a bond with that person. You know, with streaks, I feel like not only is it a bond, but like if you take it to the next level, it can also be a friendship. You know, like it's a multitude of things. But really, to be honest with you, you don't gain nothing from it. Like really, it's a waste of time. It's pointless. You don't gain no money from it. I feel you on that 100%. So
for sure,
that's just what it is. I mean, I feel you on that for real.
For sure. So something I wanted to talk about that you kind of got into a little earlier is, you know, you going through a bit of depression and the stigma around that. So, I mean, I rate you for that. But like with everyone stigmatizing that and, you know, like they'll look at that and they'll kind of treat you a certain way. What caused you to kind of share that publicly?
Because I know that there's somebody out there that's listening to me that still cries at 3 a.m. in the morning wanting to kill themselves. I'm gonna lay it out on the table for you. All right, I'm somebody who's wanted to die, you know, because somebody has been treating me unfairly, or you know, life is just not going my way. I know that if I'm able to overcome this and I'm able to speak on it, I know I can help somebody. You know, I've had people come to me and tell me that, you know, I've saved them from putting a bullet in their head. You know, I've saved them from bleeding out on the floor. You know, they've came and told me that to my face. So, you know, not only is that a gift, but at the same time, I know that I'm helping people. You know what I'm saying? Besides music, because music aside, you know, I'm trying to help people the best way I can.
Definitely.
So I always think it's a blessing for me. With the stigma, it breaks my heart. You know, it breaks my heart for sure, because I know people are genuinely, you know, going through this. This is not something you can like step away from. This is actually like a serious issue. Definitely. So to see people just, man, it breaks my heart, yo, for real.
Yo, not that I'm not saying this like, oh, I'm glad that it happened, but I'm glad that you're on this platform to share it, because originally when I wanted to start this show, it was actually, you know, I went to like a meeting where like people were kind of talking about like addictions and stuff like that, and I just attended on behalf of someone, like a family member, and they were talking about how if it weren't for this group that they would have killed themselves. And I'm like, I was sitting there and I was listening to their story and I was like, that's powerful. Imagine if more than these 5 or 10 people around this table heard that, it could change someone's life. Facts. And at the right time. And I'm like, you know, I was sitting down talking with youth at the CC, sitting down with people, my friends, and I'm like, yo, these conversations have the power to change someone's life, their whole perspective. Why are we not broadcasting it? And I said it in John's episode of number 1. Like, yo, this could be mobile counseling. Like, we can have a super dope, chill, relaxed conversation, but someone could be like, I needed to read that. And I always love when people say, I needed to hear that. I needed to read that, because to me, that's more worth it than just making money, just making revenue, just, you know, AdSense on YouTube. If someone's impacted, I've done my job. Facts. I appreciate you coming and sharing that on this platform.
Most
because
definitely,
who knows who's going to check it out today.
And I'm grateful for you for having this platform, because it's like,
appreciate that.
You know, depression is not something you can take lightly. You know what I'm saying? This is something that can either kill you or make you into a better man. And I'm grateful it made me into a better man, you know?
Yeah.
I've suffered for years with it, you know what I'm saying? Not being good enough, you know, not being as good on basketball, you know, not being good with music. You know, you suffer from different things that might affect you in life. And once you get older, you start to realize, like, you know, there are no bunk beds and caskets. You know what I'm saying? Keep it out, like, it's just facts. You know what I'm saying? You don't share that casket with nobody else. You don't share that bed with nobody else. It's just you. You know what I'm saying? When you step to the altar, it's just you and the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's just you at the end of the day. So once you get that in your head, you have to understand that, like, you have to keep your health at 100% all the time. Be positive. I know it's hard. You know what I'm saying? People are going to come at you sideways. People are going to say something to you kind of, you know, and it's going to hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Some people might do it for fun. Some people might not. They just might do it out of the interest of their best heart, not knowing how it might affect you. But at the same time, you have to understand that, you know, you're not them. They're not you. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep yourself grounded and rooted, not only in the Lord, but just in your mental capacity. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sorry, so. I'm just still standing here. I'm like, there's no bunk beds and caskets, and I'm just like, I didn't want to peek the mic, and I'm like, facts. So would you say that your music is something that kind of channeled that negative, you know, depression towards something creative?
Yeah. You can sit down and listen to any song that I made. You've heard me speak about overcoming oppression, overcoming, you know, people talking down on me. You know, just elevating myself to, you know, where I am today. You know what I'm saying? I started off YouTube. I wasn't getting no love at all. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting at a solid, 10, 15 subscribers, and I'm pushing almost 200, 250. So, you know, you just have to. And another thing I want to touch on too. Sorry. Another thing I want to touch on is friends. You know what I'm saying? Friends, as much as they might be your friend, they might not be the best friend. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, once you have a friend in your life, you got to make sure they're not yes men. You know, I've had my fair share of yes men that everything I did, you know, whether it hurt me or made me better, they always said, yes, do this, yes, do that, yes, do this, yes, do that. And it's like, that's not somebody you want to keep in your life. You want to keep somebody that's willing to tell you the truth to your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm able that I have surrounded myself with people that can tell me the truth to my face, and I know it's the truth because I know they wouldn't say anything to hurt my feelings. They just want to better myself.
Trying to build you up.
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like once you have that circle around you, that's when, you know, you're going places for sure.
I like that point, not having yes men in your life, because you're only getting one type of opinion. And you know what? Sometimes people need to sit in the hot seat and just hear it from someone, because you get so inwardly on your perspective of your life. Like, I'm doing this, or you don't know what I'm going through. It's like, nah, like, I can objectively look, like, this is no hate, this is all love. Like, I can be on the outside, objectively look at your life and be like, yo, you might want to change this. You don't have to do it, but for the fact that you can hear it shows that you're growing and that you're you know, willing to get better, right?
And to speak on that too, like, especially when I dropped my second album, I had all my bros, you know, Alex, Marcus, Tyrell, everybody. I had them, they sat me down and I let them listen to my album, and, you know, they told me the truth. You know, some songs suck, some songs are good, and, you know, they genuinely shared their opinion. And I feel like without them, like, you know what would have happened? So you know, you just gotta give Lord thanks, man, 100%, for sure.
100%. So your favorite quote is, you are your own worst enemy. Yeah. So how does that quote relate to your life? Because
really, with me, I realized that, you know, your thoughts define who you are. You know what I'm saying? The way how you think and the way how you go about, you know, living life, that either makes you your best superhero or your worst enemy, for sure. So with me, you just gotta stay positive, man. Stay positive with everything. You know, thank the Lord for everything that you got. You know what I'm saying? Because I thank the Lord every day. I wake up in the morning and I thank the Lord, you know, that I have a beautiful girl by my side. You know, I'm making the best music I can possibly put out. I have the best friends around me. You know, you just got to give Lord thanks. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, if you're not doing that, I'm not saying that you should do that, but I'm saying that, like, if you're not keeping your health and, you know, your life on a certain path, I feel like, man, like, you can literally ruin yourself and you wouldn't even notice until it's too late. So that's why I say that for sure, you are your worst enemy, for sure.
So you keep talking about the Lord and you keep talking about giving thanks. So obviously it's evident that, you know, faith has played a lot in your life. Yes. So what role more extensively has faith played in who you are today?
On the cusp of, you know, my depression, on the peak of it, you know, I was ready to, I'm gonna put it all on the table right here. You know what I'm saying? You guys getting the exclusive. You know, I was ready to end my life. You know what I'm saying? I was at a point in my life where I was like, yup, this it's no longer time for me to be here. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, my mom knew, and, you know, it bothered her every night. Like, I used to listen to her cry every night, about what I was going through, and knowing that she couldn't do anything to help, but she tried her best. That's why you gotta love your mom at all times.
100%.
Oh man, this is hard, but anyways, wow. I went through a lot at that time. I was going through a lot, and I went to church one day, and my pastor called me out. He's like, "Yo, I know you're going through a lot." He didn't even know. Like, keep in mind, I had never told him. And he just brought me to the Lord, and I just sat at the altar and I cried, man. I cried like a baby. I didn't care who looked at me funny. I didn't care about nobody, because in that moment, when you're going through something that serious, you don't care about what anybody thinks. You can sit there and cry and say whatever, but me, I went down there and I cried like a baby, and I spoke to the Lord. I'm like, I'm not trying to leave. I need to be on this earth to do something with my life. And once I left that day, everything just changed. You know what I'm saying? I started feeling better. Granted, it wasn't fully gone, but at the same time, I felt the change. Like, you feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. So that's why I always got to give Lord thanks. The Lord has enabled me to find my talent, make use of it, make sure that I'm putting out the best I could possibly put out. And not only that, but also help me, figure out the real from the fakes. You got to cut your grass all the time. Snakes hide in the grass. That's their breeding ground. So you always got to cut the grass. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord has gave me the best grass clippers in the world, to be honest. You got to open your third eye for sure. So that's why you always got to give Lord thanks, for real.
No doubt, yeah. So before we go into rapid fire, one thing I always like to ask is, if you could go back in time, what would you tell grade 9 AJ just about to enter high school? If you could warn him, go on a time machine, what was one thing that you wish you would have told yourself?
Be quiet.
Why?
Be quiet. Oh man, grade 9, I was a talkative man. I would talk about everything. I would just be a chatterbox. You know what I'm saying? I was the grade 9 man. I was the goof of the classroom. You know what I'm saying? There was not one class. You couldn't have no class with me, literally, because I'd make you cry. Like, I'd just be busting jokes left, right, and center. But now that I've matured and I've grown. You know what I'm saying? I've realized that sometimes it's best to just sit back and just listen. You ain't got to talk too much about certain things. You just got to sit back, observe, and then you can make your steps. Yeah. So with me, if I was to tell myself anything, just to stay quiet and just keep your head focused. That's just what I would tell myself. Nothing too long, but something to keep.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so we reached that point in the episode where it's rapid fire. So first thing that comes to your head, all right? You ready for this?
All right, hold on. Let's go.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Hey. Advil or Tylenol?
Advil.
Apple or Android?
Android.
Toronto or Saga?
Toronto.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Toronto guy Cody or 4Y'all Entertainment?
Toronto all the way.
Okay. Top 3 rappers of all time?
Top 3 rappers of all time. Biggie, Tupac, and
Biggie, Tupac.
Deep
questions right now.
Oh my gosh. Biggie, Tupac, and Big Pun. Okay.
Favorite place you've traveled, local or international?
Washington, D.C.
Favorite book you read or are reading?
Gone Girl.
Favorite song right now that you're listening to?
My own.
That's good.
Not to be cocky, but
no. You gotta love your work.
My own, but can I say another one as well?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Phony People. Why I Love the Moon with 3 Eyes. Go check it out. It's a beautiful song. A lot of pianos. It's one of those songs it's one of those songs literally where like it could bring you out of anything really. So
for sure.
That's always on repeat for me. But yeah, that's what's up.
Who's one person that everyone should go right now and follow on IG or check them out?
Me. I'm playing. But this guy right here.
Me?
You.
I appreciate that, bro.
You. Because like,
hey, that's the first one. No, actually, no, that's the second one. Actually.
No, but I really know you for sure. Because like,
appreciate that, bro.
You've done a lot. I've seen you grown. This guy. For sure.
Appreciate that. Drake or Pusha T?
Drake.
All right.
The way that Pusha T did him dirty broke my heart.
Broke
my heart, man.
So you have to do an emergency set at a show. What 2 songs of yours are you performing?
Emergency set?
Yeah.
I'll probably do Hate to Say, and I'll probably do Fake with my friend K Cruz.
If your life was on the line and all you had to do, I'm specifically doing this for you because of your IGTV stories. If your life was on the line and all you had to do was word for word sing a cover of any track, what track would that be? Shooting star.
Oh man, this guy's exposing me right now.
Nah, you exposed yourself, bro.
What was that? A song I could do word for word.
Yeah. BID.
I know so many. That's the funny thing. I know so many songs. Leak Jack, Campus Girl.
All right. If there was a movie on your life, what would the title read?
Pain and Glory.
Pain and Glory. And if they didn't get you, who would they cast? Like, it doesn't have to be your direct lookalike, but who in Hollywood would you want to play you?
Jacob Lattimore.
If you could go back to a single point in your life, what day would that be? If you could relive it for one day.
The
chicken nugget day. No, I'm joking.
Nah, definitely not that day. Let's think. I've been through a lot.
What's a highlight?
A highlight would probably be my Washington trip for sure. I went to Washington, D.C. with some of my military friends. So probably Washington, D.C. for sure.
Most influential person on your life?
My mom.
If you could have coffee with anyone from any point in history, dead or alive, who would it be?
Morgan Freeman.
I love Morgan. Morgan, I think, was like the best. What do I call? What's that guy called in Batman? I can't remember.
Voiceover actor.
Huh?
He was even like a voice actor.
No, but he played like the guy that built all of Bruce Wayne's tech. Why am I brain farting right now? Okay, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
A turtle.
A turtle.
Anybody,
Why? This guy, he's so sure of his answer.
Anybody who knows me knows that I have such a deep love for turtles, man. I went to the beach one day with my family, long time ago. I was like probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I just love turtles, man. Turtles are such nice and gentle creatures. They don't do much.
True.
And they live for years.
Yeah.
So that's I just love turtles, man.
It's all about perspective, right?
Yeah.
Name a song that puts you in your feelings.
You got to be specific. It's just
so like
just
you hear it and you think
general.
about that girl on like the sandbox in like grade 2.
Probably Bryson Tiller. Bryson Tiller, Don't.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I'm trying to think of another song. I'll get back to that.
All right.
I'll let you know.
If you were stranded on an island, what 2 things would you want with you?
Being a military man, I know exactly what I need. Batteries, literally, and a toothpick.
Okay.
That's it.
Any specific reason why? If you got to give away your secrets? No.
Yes. Basically, you take the batteries and you take the toothpick and you get a leaf, a dry leaf, and then you get a piece of wood or whatever you can find around you. And you basically hold it together for a certain amount of time, and then you get the leaf and you rub it in between those batteries, and that instantly starts a fire. If you know how to use electricity and conductivity and stuff like that. Use that toothpick and that could be your best friend. You can literally take that and like you get a piece of wood and then you use that slowly but surely. It's gonna take time. You can make a knife out of any piece of wood you find. So
there you go. If you're listening to this podcast and you're in nature right now,
you know exactly what you need to do. For sure. What
style did you rock that you look back now and wish you never rocked?
The bait. I mean the bald fade.
Bald
fade.
Jeez.
If anybody who knows me knows, like from grade 8 to grade 9, that little period of about 6 or 7 months, I had no hair on my head. Oh my gosh, it was bad. Man, but that's one thing I would never go back to. I don't think I can ever see myself going back to that. No.
Those pictures will never surface on IG.
Listen, when I tell you I've had to go on the internet, some of them were on some of them were on Google Images. I had to Google my name. I Googled my name and some of them were there. And when I tell you I took everything in my power to get rid of those, now they're gone. They're sitting on my phone. Nobody can touch them. They're mine.
Jeez. When you die, what would you want your biggest legacy that you leave behind to be?
To love yourself no matter what. No matter what. To love yourself, because you can lose love for yourself so quickly just by what people say to you.
Yeah.
And how people treat you. You can lose love so quickly, man. So love yourself. Just those 2 words in itself is my legacy. There you go.
All right. So if your life was a book, right, and you could put a title to the current chapter of where you are in your life right now, what would you title that chapter?
Mount Everest. Mount Everest. That would be the title for sure.
All right, so you survived rapid fire. It's now the time in the episode where it's guest corner. So this is your plug to plug anything you want. A new album coming out. The mic is yours, sir.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Savy Jay on the track. I just want to let y'all know that I have studio album coming out, State of Mind 3, dropping this time next year. Just trying to plug that early so that people might know. Best way to find me, look me up, J_flight 2 Y's. Snapchat's the same thing, Savy Jay. Just stay tuned for the more music, man. I got new music coming soon. New collabs coming soon. Just different things to look out for. I'm trying to see if I can get back into YouTube. I want to see if I can start that chapter of my life again.
You got it.
I don't know. I'm leaving that to the Lord, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying on it every day. I want to see if I can take that forward or not. So I'm just trying to test the waters a little bit. But just different things coming, man, for sure. I got new collabs coming. Just
we'll drop everything in the description. So that wraps it up for our show today. And like I said, I'm going to leave links for everything you got going on in there. So if you guys want to connect with him.
Yes, sir. And another thing I want to quickly say too, as I spoke about earlier, if you have depression or anxiety, whatever, my DMs are open. Okay, so if you're suffering with anything, whether it be mental illness, depression, anxiety, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm available. Although I might look like I don't touch anything on my Instagram, whether I don't answer my DMs, whatever case may be, I will listen to you. You know what I'm saying? I've had grown people who are like twice my age, 3 times my age, call me on my cell phone and tell me how they feel. And I've been a counselor for people older than my age. So, make sure that if you're going through anything or if you have anything going on, you want to talk to your friends about or your family about, just holler at me. I'll be there for you 100%. If you need somebody to be there for you to cry on a shoulder, or even if you just want to vent, somebody got you mad, you just want to, so you just want to fight. Just bring it to me.
He'll write you a song.
All right, most def. I'll put you in a song. You know what I'm saying? But most def. I got everybody, man. I show love to everybody, whether you're a new fan or old fan, or maybe you just listening to me for the first time. I love you. Period. Love this guy too.
Appreciate that, bro. This guy. Speaking of love, I like to show my guests love and kind of just give you guys a word of encouragement because sometimes you guys are always busy and you don't stop to hear it. So, one thing I wanted to say about you is I appreciate and I've watched from afar, knowing you for a little while, that you're always supporting local movements. And I think the fact that you support local movements just shows that you are not just going to be like successful and then just leave everyone, but you always stay true to your roots, like you were saying. And I appreciate you always supporting the show because it goes a long way when, people believe in your craft. And what I respect about you is your willingness to shine light on others and not just yourself. I'm not going to be selfish. Growing up from a household where, we didn't have the most of everything, where like, yes, things were rough. I've learned never to be selfish. I'm saying? I have a little brother, I got to share with him, I'm saying? He's 6 years old, so, excuse me. It's something like that you got to look up to, I'm saying? So I appreciate the words, man. I still got more. You're not letting me finish.
Yeah, continue. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
The second thing I want to say is your courage to talk about highly stigmatized issues like depression and mental health on a public platform, because too many people are hiding behind an Instagram or hiding behind being an influencer or this or that or being a YouTuber, but or even just being a regular person and just trying to act like nothing's wrong in their life. But I appreciate you actually showing that there's still possibility to have joy and to continue doing your thing and using it to fuel you, right?
And I appreciate that for sure, because with me, and I told everybody this, if whether I had 8K or 200 followers, I would still be the same person you see me yesterday. Facts. You know what I'm saying? With music and everything that I'm doing. So I feel like with me, I love everybody that's around me, you know what I'm saying? So I try to show love to as many people as I can that has supported me, or not even have supported me. And if I know you're doing your thing and I know that it sounds good, it looks good, you're on the way to getting there, I'm going to show love to you. You know what I'm saying? And, I appreciate those words, you know what I'm saying? Because people can hide behind their Instagram and be like, oh, everything's fine, everything's okay. But there's something wrong. So
Yeah.
I always try to stay positive.
Yeah.
Just try to help as much people as I can, you know what I'm saying? Just try to show love to everybody.
Definitely. Sure. And lastly, your hustle as a young person who's, doing all of these dimensional things, multifaceted things. You're showing that, like we were talking about earlier, you don't have to be third. Doesn't mean that, people can start at 40. Morgan Freeman, he started acting at 50, but you're capitalizing now and even just, doing your thing, setting an example to some young people that it can actually happen. You can make yourself successful by putting in that hard work, going from that 2 to that almost 10,000 on IG, going from, how many subscribers on YouTube. Your grind, it's going to inspire young people, because I'll be honest, maybe my show might not reach out to some of the younger kids, but you're definitely have a platform that's going to reach out to maybe some of the younger generations and older generations. So you have the ability to impact people. So, I just want to encourage you to keep doing your thing and keep always keep that in mind, because I know that you're gonna keep doing good stuff. And you know, it's like you were talking about that person in the mall, that 9-year-old that's like, yo, what?
Listen, I'm gonna do a quick story time before we wrap this up. Listen, I'm in the mall and I'm by myself. I'm just chilling. I'm cozy. I'm just relaxing. This little girl comes up to me. She's 9 years old. Okay, shout out to Brittany. If you're watching this, I love you. Listen, she came up to me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, are you Savy Jay?" And I was at that moment, I realized, okay, this is real. This is real life. This is what I need to do. She came with her mom, and her mom's sitting there looking at me, and I signed this girl's little notebook for that she had to go to school, and she had the biggest smile on her face. I was like, wow.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, part of me was like, what's this 9-year-old girl listening to my music? But like, you know, besides that,
you know, you made it.
you know, you made it, man, for real. But
sure.
I'm far from success. You know what I'm saying? But the success that I have now, you got to capitalize off of it. Make it something bigger. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to a point in my life where I can sleep and still make money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the motive. That's the goal right there. And I feel like I'm on the way there for sure.
All right, AJ, I just wanted to sincerely thank you for being on the show. You know, we're going to drop everything. Stay tuned for the episode coming out in a few weeks. But thank you for being here. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. And thank you for being you, bro.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. Real Community Talks. Go check them out. You already know what time it is, man. Let's go.